What's up, guys? Welcome back onto my YouTube channel. My name is Joseph Malika. Kindly, if you're watching me for the first time, remember to subscribe, like, share, and also comment. So, onto our today's video, we are going to see an African activist, PLO Lumumba, who is always on toes campaigning for Africa, or how Africans must stand onto themselves. He is calling up African countries to depend on their own resources. He is calling African leaders to do what their African people want them to do. But as you can see, so many African countries are, or as African continent as a whole, so many countries into Africa are depending on to European countries for so many things. And as you know, Africa has so many resources. African has so much requirements that white people need so that to make finished goods. But the biggest problem is, why do we give them minerals and we sell them onto very low prices, but their finished goods come back and they are sold to us onto high demand, or onto high wages, or onto high cash amounts? This is what PLO Lumumba is trying to tell us, that why do we have to depend onto white countries or onto other continents so that we can survive? This is the campaign he is making to tell Africans that we have to depend on ourselves. Listen to this. They are very short videos, but they have a very big message. So watch this video and I'll back shortly with more comments.
I do not know where Ghana is going to print her ballots for the next election, but I suspect they'll be printed in the United Kingdom. They will never print ballots in Ghana because we, for some reason, believe that we are thieves and that if we print them, we'll steal them. In Zambia recently, they printed their ballots. In Dubai, in Kenya, we printed our ballots. In the United Kingdom, all the former French colonies will have them printed in Paris. Then you wonder why our politics is controlled by external factors. When African politicians have been engaged in an election, the very first congratulatory word that they expect, if they were colonized by the British, they are waiting very eagerly whether the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom will ring them. And once they receive that call, then they will know that we have been approved and we are now good to go. How can it be? Our young men and women are graduating from institutions, but they have nowhere to go. How can it be? Because we are exporting all our jobs. How can it be today that all our manufacturing is happening in China? When I want a flask, the Chinese give it to me. When I want pepper, the Chinese give it to me. When I want a pen, the Chinese give it to me. When I want a pencil, the Chinese give it to me. And when I want shoes, the Italians give it to me. When I want shirts, the Belgians give it to me. When I want watches, the Swiss give it to me. When I want water, the Americans give me Dasani. When I want a cold drink, the Americans give me Coca-Cola. What has happened to us? How many of you will forget Mobutu Sese Seko Kukumbendu wa Nzambanga, who changed his country's name and presided over a kleptocratic regime? The Democratic Republic of Congo is the richest resource country on earth. Conservatively, it is said that under her belly, she has minerals, which is equivalent to 34.1 trillion United States dollars. And yet today, it is one of the poorest nations on earth. When you see a country which has as its official name The Democratic Republic of Congo knows that there is no democracy. In fact, I dare say that any country, two countries that I know insisting on having as a part of the official name the Democratic Republic of something are never democratic. The other one is Korea, the People's Democratic Republic of Korea. It's as if when you can't graduate to be a doctor, you go to the church and you ask to be baptized as Dr. Mwadime.
So guys, I think you have watched the short videos of PLO Lumumba trying to narrate on how African countries are really remaining behind or have remained behind due to their dependence to white countries. He is calling us to depend on ourselves, and this is only thing that will make African countries rise higher or move to next levels. You have seen him mentioning so many things like the ballots we African countries use, they are not printed into Africa. We take them to our colonizers to print them for us. That is due to they believe we are thieves. Are we? That's not true. It is a belief that is into into Africans, and they do not believe into themselves. That is because white countries are coming in, conning us indirectly, as we think they are helping us. I want to call all the African people, even into Caribbean countries, to stand up, unite, and support their African leaders. Let us even come up and advise them, because they are being, I think they are being threatened that if you don't do business with us, we are not going to give you the support you want from our countries. Let us now come up and depend on ourselves. Like you can see, Burkina Faso, with a very young leader who has come up, broke all the dependence they were depending on to white countries. They are now standing up for themselves. And as you can see now, the infrastructures, education system, their government system is now growing higher day by day. This is because they are now, or they have believed unto themselves that yes, they can do it without depending on other people. That is what PLO Lumumba is trying to tell other African leaders, that we must depend on ourselves. We have so many resources into Africa. We have so many learned people into African continent, but why don't we give them opportunities to prove to us? Instead, we give other continents opportunities to do things that they can be done into our continent, and by that we are using a lot of money, or we are taking out so huge profits, leaving our continents bankrupt. So PLO Lumumba is trying to advise African leaders, and by that we can grow higher and higher depending on ourselves. As you can see, African has so many resources. African has so much minerals that when we work on them, they are going to make Africa healthier. They are going to make African continent so much profitable. They are going to create employments. We are going to make garments or make tools that we can also supply to outside continents. So, by this advice, I think we have to fight for ourselves. And this campaign is so much important into Africans. Let us come up together as African leaders. You must collaborate. You must come together and share ideas on how you are going to run your African countries. Let us stop being tribalism. Let us stop nepotism. Let us stop all kinds of things that can come up differentiating African countries. As you know, African is our own motherland, and we have to support it. So I'm also calling on to African people who are into Caribbean countries, African people who went to Western countries in search of pasture, green pastures. Please where you are, join your hands together and send and support our mother continent Africa. By doing that, I think everything will go on well. So let us support ourselves. Let us come up together and do what is right for Africans. Because you can see you can, when you move around into different types of houses, you can see most of the things used there. They are not made in Kenya. They are not made into African countries. They are not made into Zanzibar. They are not made into South Africa. Most of the things have logos of being made from China, Germany, Japan, and by that you can see so many African people are living in China or living in Japan or living in Germany by the logos of the things they use in their own countries. So, guys, I want us to come up together, call our African leaders, support them, advise them, tell them on how African is very important. Our educational systems are very high. We have so many people in Africa who are educated and have ideas that can make Africa a good continent. So we have to give them opportunities to show up what they have. So guys, continue supporting me onto my YouTube channel, and by your support I'll be so grateful. See you on to my next video.